The most dangerous kind of debt in America right now doesn't show up on your credit report. It doesn't come with a monthly statement. It doesn't come with a scary interest rate. And most people don't even think of it as debt at all. It's that little button at checkout. 4 easy payments, no interest, pay in 4. You clicked it for a pair of sneakers or a plane ticket, or honestly, sometimes just for lunch. And it felt like nothing. That's exactly the point. Because buy now, pay later was designed to feel like nothing. And the truth is, that's what makes it so dangerous. This is a market worth over $100 billion a year that most of the financial system literally cannot see. And that invisibility isn't a bug, it's the entire business model. So let's actually talk about what's happening here, because it's a lot stranger than a convenient checkout button. Here's how it's supposed to work. You buy something for $200. Instead of paying $200 today, you pay $50 now and then $50 every 2 weeks until it's covered. No interest, no fees, as long as you pay on time. Sounds harmless. Sounds almost too generous. Which should be your first clue. Because nobody in finance hands you an interest-free loan out of kindness. So where's the money actually coming from? Well, the company isn't really making its money from you, not directly. When you check out with buy now, pay later, the store pays the provider a cut of the sale, sometimes as much as 6%. That's several times what a normal credit card charges a merchant. And the stores pay it happily, because buy now, pay later does something almost magical to their sales. It makes you spend more. A lot more. Studies have found that offering pay in 4 can lift the average order size by anywhere from 20 to 50%. When a $200 jacket becomes 4 payments of $50, your brain stops seeing 200. It sees 50. And 50 feels affordable. So you add the boots too. This is the whole trick. It isn't a lending product pretending to be a convenience. It's a spending accelerant that happens to look like a loan. And for a while, everyone's happy. You get your stuff, the store gets a bigger sale, the provider gets its fee. Everybody wins. Except that's only the loud, visible side of the coin. The quiet side is where the problems live. Because here's the part nobody put on the checkout screen. That loan you just took out, in most cases, it was never reported to anyone. The big credit bureaus, the ones that track your mortgages and your car loans and your credit cards, for years, they had almost no visibility into buy now, pay later at all. Which means something genuinely bizarre. You could have 10 of these loans running at the same time across 5 different apps, and no lender checking your credit would have any idea. Neither would the next buy now, pay later company you borrowed from. This has a name. Economists call it phantom debt. It's real money owed by real people that simply doesn't appear in the official data. And when you can't see debt, you can't measure it. And when you can't measure it, you have basically no idea how big the problem is until it's already on top of you. Now, the industry will tell you this is fine. They'll say the amounts are small, the loans are short, people pay them back. And for a lot of people, that's genuinely true. But remember, the danger was never the responsible user. The danger is what's hiding underneath the average. And what's hiding underneath is a phenomenon with a name that sounds like a joke, but really isn't. Loan stacking. This is when someone takes out a buy now, pay later loan to make a payment on another buy now, pay later loan. One app to pay off another. And because none of them can see each other, none of them can stop it. It's the financial equivalent of paying your Visa bill with your MasterCard. Except this time, nobody is keeping score at all. And you can watch the stress showing up in the data. At least the little data we do have. Surveys have found that a real chunk of users have paid a buy now, pay later bill late. A meaningful slice have had a payment sent to collections. And the fastest growing category of things people are financing this way isn't electronics or furniture anymore. It's groceries. People are splitting up the cost of food into 4 payments. Let that sit for a second. When someone needs a payment plan for a burrito, That isn't a story about convenience. That's a story about a consumer quietly running out of room. And this behavior isn't rare and it isn't shrinking. It's the fastest growing corner of the whole market, which is a strange thing to celebrate when you actually stop and think about what it means. If any of this feels familiar, it should. Because we have seen this movie before, just wearing different costumes. Go back about 100 years, and there was something called layaway. You'd pick out an item, the store would hold it in the back, and you'd pay it off in installments before you ever took it home. It was slow, it was cautious, and crucially, you didn't get the thing until you'd actually paid for it. Buy Now, Pay Later took that old idea and flipped the single most important part. Now, you get the thing first, and you figure out the paying part later. That one little swap changes everything about the psychology and everything about the risk. And go back not even 20 years to the last time the financial system decided that lending money to people who couldn't obviously repay it was a fantastic business, as long as you packaged it up cleverly enough. That was subprime mortgages. And the mechanism that turned a pile of shaky individual loans into a systemic problem was securitization. Bundling thousands of loans together and selling them off to investors as a shiny new product. And guess what's already quietly happening with Buy Now, Pay Later loans? They're being bundled and sold to investors. Now, to be fair, this is a far smaller market than housing, and one late payment on a pair of sneakers is not a foreclosure. Nobody's saying this is 2008. But the pattern rhymes. Take loans made to stretched borrowers, make the true risk hard to see, package them up, and pass them down the line to whoever is willing to hold the bag. The names change, the machinery doesn't. So why does any of this actually matter to you, even if you've never clicked Pay in 4 in your life? Here's why. Because Buy Now, Pay Later has quietly wedged itself underneath the retail economy. A real and growing share of online sales now runs straight through it, which means some meaningful portion of the spending that shows up in those healthy retail numbers, the ones reported every month as proof that the consumer is strong, isn't really strength at all. It's borrowed. It's demand pulled forward from a future that hasn't arrived yet. And pulled forward demand always, eventually, has to be paid back. Every dollar spent in 4 easy payments today is a dollar that can't be spent next month, because next month it's already spoken for. So when the economy looks resilient, when spending somehow holds up even as people say they feel broke, part of what you're looking at might not be resilience at all. It might just be the for payment button, quietly borrowing against tomorrow to make today look okay. And that's the thing about invisible debt. It never announces itself. There's no dramatic moment, no single headline, no market crash you can point to and say, there, that's the one. It just accumulates, quietly, in millions of tiny pieces, spread across apps that don't talk to each other, owed by people who don't quite think of it as borrowing. Right up until the day the payments stop being small, and the future everyone was borrowing against finally shows up to collect. So the next time you're at a checkout and you see it, 4 easy payments, no interest, pay over time, just remember what you're actually looking at. Not a discount, not a convenience, a tiny, silent loan that nobody is writing down. And a whole lot of tiny, silent loans stacked on top of each other in the dark is exactly how these things always begin. Because the math doesn't disappear just because you can't see it. It never has, and it never will.